So welcome everybody for tonight Zoomcast to Grow Mastermind Group. We're a group of entrepreneurs that we are here to encourage other entrepreneurs to fulfill, discover, and unleash their potential. And we are meeting every single Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here we're gonna have tonight an amazing guest and an entrepreneur, first of all, that it's gonna teach us about discipline, about the mindset, the body, the self-spirit, the discipline. And I'm gonna prefer to leave this time for my guest to introduce herself because she has so many, I will say, achievements done. So tonight guest, Nikki-Monique Kurnath.
Yes? Kurnath, that's right.
I had a little bit of emotions of that one. I'm like, I hope I'm not gonna butcher this because I'm not good with names, but I hope I did a good job.
Yes, you did a fantastic job. Thank you. Yes,
so please introduce yourself. Let us know what all those accomplishments, the long list that you sent me, because I think those are amazing. And I want everybody to know why they should listen to you.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Peter. It's first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody here for allowing me to share with this amazing group of Growth Mastermind Group. It's wonderful to be here and I'm honored. So thank you to each and every one of you for being here present. Of course, thank you so much, Peter Claudieu, for inviting me to be a special guest here and to share a little bit of my knowledge and experience, and especially too during this COVID pandemic time, to bring some light, some positive vibes here though to share with everyone. So thank you, thank you. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. My name is Monique Kurnath, aka Nikki-Monique. You got to be unique in this world, so I'm Nikki-Monique. And to sum up what I do, I'm all about the mind, the body, and the spirit. So I'm a holistic lifestyle coach. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, a Reiki practitioner master. I'm a certified yoga teacher, a fitness instructor. I'm finishing my personal training certification. I'm a nutrition specialist and a meditation specialist. So literally I do it all. I wear many different hats, and the reason why is because I don't believe that one type of modality, one type of therapy can do it by itself. You have to honestly encompass, as I call it, the triangle effect. You have to have the mind, the body, and the spirit to be formed together to honestly to bring in the vibes and to literally connect, because you can do so much with our mind, and everybody knows this. You can do so much with your own mind, but if you don't take care of your body and you don't take care of your spirit, your soul, it just falls apart. And the mind is the core, it is the center of it all. And as long as you bring in that whole triangle effect, you can really make amazing magic work. So I found that through a hard way a long time ago. I've been through a lot of different traumas and challenges like everybody else has, I'm sure. And I found that going through, depression and, thoughts of suicide at one time, living on welfare, I found that the only way I was able to persevere was literally through my mind. My mind was to be so powerful, for me to be so powerfully tuned to my mind to create a better mindset. It was so very important for me to deal with being a victim at one point, to go through the whole process, to uprise myself to become a survivor. And now so happy to be honored and blessed. I am now a warrior, persevering through this beautiful journey of life and, using all my talents and skills and experiences to share with the world, because my passion is my purpose now, is to empower people's lives through mind, body, and spirit, alternative and movement therapies.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
I like it. So tell us a little bit more about why, how you should, knowing all this knowledge and all those things that you accumulate and everything, what do you should think that is going to be the perfect, I would say, morning routine for a person to have a blessed day, like literally to be amazing?
Well, you know what? It's a good question, Peter, because especially now during this COVID pandemic year, a lot of people are sitting at home. They're, waking up whenever they feel like waking up. Some of them are going very, very late to bed at night. Some of them are sleeping in, maybe waking up early. routine now is not common for that many people in this day of life. And the reason being is because a lot of people are going through their own journey, of course, but it depends on what's happening, where they are in their life. So they may be having a job, they may have a career that they're looking forward to waking up for. They may have lost that job or career, and now they feel that there's no inspiration to honestly wake up anymore as early as they wanted to before in order to go off into the workforce. Some people may be working from home and they just don't feel like they need to dress up, even just be able to go and do a Zoom call, which of course, as we all know this year, is that you only have to do is really dress up the top part of your body, right? And you can always wear your pajamas on the lower part. But the key is that if you wake up and you have an ambition and you're so blessed to be able to open up your eyes and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, whether it's God, universe, whether it's actually Buddha, whatever you may believe in, but if you can wake up with ambition, with excitement, with passion, and say, you know what, I'm so happy to be alive today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, universe, stars, everything else, and here I am. Then that's already the first step to honestly start on the journey in order to be able to actually have a great day. I mean, that is the very, very most important key. I have to tell it to everybody, because the way that you wake up, and I'm not talking about out of bed yet. I'm talking about literally in bed, as your eyes first open up and you hear your alarm clock go off or your phone, right then and there, you say, thank you, thank you, thank you, as you're lying in bed, before you even then wipe up your eyes, open up the covers, and then step out of your bed. It's so very important. The very key first step, very important.
First step is the gratitude, basically.
Attitude, yes. Attitude, but with excitement. And I say, and gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude. If that's what you want to make it in the simplest term, gratitude is the attitude.
Do you think we should do maybe morning exercise, a little bit of, heart pushing, some morning
Peter,
routine?
you know what? It is so very important to do so many different things, but you know what I really recommend is to find what is your passion. What excites you in the morning? Not everybody likes to wake up in the morning in order to do exercise. However, what I do recommend, based on my background of mind, body, and spirit, alternative and movement therapies, is to obviously move your body. Because if you're getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and I really, really highly recommend that. Sleep is such a huge healing technique and tool to have. Because if you're not getting the adequate sleep for your body, your mind is not healing. And if your mind's not healing, your body is going to break down. Because when there's an overload of negative emotions in your mind, high levels of cortisol, your body starts to feel that. And that's where those aches and pains come. That's where a lot of disease, because your body is not at ease. So once you start creating that disease, it starts to actually affect and come out honestly visually through your body. You start having sore shoulders, sore neck, sore stomach pains. There's lots of different issues that starts to happen. And the next thing you know, you have no energy once again, because now you don't feel like you're stiff. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to start the day. So personally, what I usually do, if you really want to know the best morning technique, this is what I personally do, is that when I wake up in the morning, and it totally depends, Monday to Friday, I should also mention, I am also a single mom with double duty parenting. So that means I am the mom and the dad in my own family with my son. And when I wake up in the morning, I always wake up a half an hour before he does. And I do my blessings in bed. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to be alive today. Thank you for this wonderful day ahead. I look so forward to it. Thank you for allowing me to have this beautiful gift of life. And as soon as I do that, I then take off my covers. My cats, we have a rescue cat that I've had for 17 and a half years. She's on the bed. She starts to meow. She waits for me to come to be able to take her to the kitchen to feed her. And I step out of my bed, and the first thing I do is some shoulder stretches. I do some shoulder stretches sitting on the corner of my bed. I do some knee raises. I do some feet, my hands. I do some exercises, twisting, turning. I make sure that I feel the blood flowing through my body. I ignite that energy that I've allowed myself to store and be peaceful throughout the night. I wake it up. And this is the key, is to really wake yourself up. Because if you've had a positive sleep, if you've had a restful sleep, the best way is to say, thank you, body. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for this great day ahead. Let's move. Let's get into action. So when you start to kind of slowly move into your body and you kind of get right back in, you start doing those very basic little exercises. Then once I step out of bed, I grab my slippers, I go into the kitchen, I feed the cats, I go to the bathroom. But then before I even wake my son up though, that's when I do some sun salutations. Now, for anybody who does practice yoga, they probably have heard of the word sun salutations before. But those of you who have not practiced yoga, it's literally just a form of exercise that literally does wake up your spirit. It wakes up your energy within you and allows you to be able to move and flow and really allow yourself to go with the flow. And I say this because even though the sun may not be shining on a particular day, especially for those of us who do live in Canada right now, good luck if we get sun every single morning or not. But when you wake up and you feel the excitement of the sun, that vitamin D, but if you don't have that access to the sun, you create the sun within your body. So you start allowing yourself to feel, flow, move, allow yourself to really feel inside of that beautiful body that you have. No matter if you think you're overweight or underweight or whatever the case may be, love your body, treasure your body, and feel that flow of energy through it and wake up with it. And once I do those sun salutations, I feel like I've just had like an energy pill all of a sudden because I feel so powerful. And I'm like, yes, I'm ready to rock the day now. And then I started making my, I drink my warm water with lemon. I drink that to start off my day in order to detoxify myself. Then I warm up my pots of some water as well to make a nice warm cup of green tea. And then I start preparing breakfast. But that little bit of that part in the morning is so important. Now, what I also do too is that every other day, I also too do a morning meditation, because normally every other night, I also do a nighttime meditation. And that's another great way too that, for anybody out there, if you don't feel like doing an exercise or stretching in the morning, then try sitting still. Even sitting still in your bed after you do your gratitude blessings in the morning, then say something like, allow some music if you want some meditation music, or listen to a guided meditation, or even just sit still, lying still, sitting still, allowing your thoughts to be clear. Don't think of anything. It's just focusing on your breathing. One of my very favorite types of meditation type of hypnosis is actually a progressive muscle relaxation, which I highly recommend. And for anybody who's here watching this and listening to this live as well as in the replay, definitely let me know, send me an email message that you want to know how to do a PMR routine, because a progressive muscle relaxation is so powerful. It allows you to connect your breath to your body, allows you to tense up your muscles and release it and relax, and you feel that blood flow, you feel that energy. And once again, you ignite whatever is inside of you and you release it. So you release the tension, you release the stress, and you actually make space for something positive to enter into it. So I also do that as well. And as you can tell, no matter what goes on in this world and what goes on in the days, I find ways to have that type of energy. Even on a rainy day, I find in the morning or at night, I bring these type of little healthy alternative movement techniques into my day and night, and it really, truly does help.
Okay. And can you tap into the idea of, what exactly it's, what is the, because since the moment you understand this part of the, I would say inside, how our body works inside, when this thing happen, what is going to be the advantage of doing something about it, and starting the day like that, or not starting the day like that, so
what's the advantage? Yes. The advantage of starting a day on the right way, starting with gratitude as an attitude, starting with some AIS, active isolated stretches, starting with some sort of form of yoga or ways of movement of some sort. It's so very important, because if you don't try any of these types of ways to wake up, and you just literally have the alarm clock, you hear it, you buzz, you're like, you end up pressing snooze, you wait for another 5-10 minutes, you wake up again, you're like, I don't want to start this day off. And the next thing you know, you're not in a happy mood. And what happens? That energy, contagious energy, negativity is very contagious. And what happens? You then go out of your room, and whoever is around you ends up feeling that negativity, because then all of a sudden If I woke up and I forgot to do my blessings or forgot to do my stretches, I would be nasty to the cat. I'd be nasty to my son. We would have a terrible day. We'd have a terrible morning. I would just like, be so mad at everybody and everything around me. And guess what would happen? I would actually attract more negativity to me. I probably end up, having a problem on the road when I was driving. I would have maybe a client I was talking to on the phone that would be really nasty as well, because I would be bringing in that negativity. I would be attracting it. And the whole key is that we are so powerful as human beings. We are so very powerful that we can do so much with the way we think, the way that we feel, the way that we speak. And if we are not being our true authentic self, by literally feeling in the core of how positive we can possibly be and love ourselves in order to love others out there, then it means if you're not treating yourself properly from the very start of the morning, the rest of your day will just spiral, and it will be like that, tsunami effect. And it's sad to say that I have to, refer to a tsunami, but the next thing you know, you don't have no control over it. And when that starts to happen, so many other people get impacted by it. And the next thing you know, that just spreads out like wildfire. And it's sad because you see it. And I'm sure all of you who are watching and hearing this right now, you can feel that there's days you don't feel like being positive. You don't feel like actually doing a thank you gratitude or exercise or anything. And that's fine. If you don't, I understand. This is a challenging year. This is a very difficult year. So forgive yourself, first of all. Don't beat yourself up if you don't have the ambition or energy to do that, because you know what? It's understandable what kind of year this has been. However, try your best later in the afternoon, maybe after you've had, maybe even after breakfast or maybe after lunch. Try to find some space in your day just to be with yourself. Even if it's 10 minutes, simple as that. But just do some deep breathing in through your nose, letting it out through your mouth, letting out any negativity, any blockages, because if you did not have a chance to do that in the morning and allow yourself to be prepared for the wonderful day that you have ahead of you, you can just become part of this spiral effect that you can then cause yourself to have this tsunami effect that you have no control over anymore, and you need to regain that balance, because if you get thrown off, it's a lot harder to get back on. But it is still very, very possible though.
Nice. So now going a little bit deeper in subtle aspects, and before we're gonna ask everybody, to ask questions, just like consider what we're trying to kind of accomplish here, to give that good wake up feeling. You mean spirit and body, and getting the day up. Do you have anything that you do with one day ahead, like in the evening? Do you have like any routine that you're doing to prepare your next day? And
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to prepare it in the most efficient way to get to that point of self-discipline, of discipline, starting with the day before until how you're going to organize your day to be efficient and to keep everything, I would say, pinpointed to whatever is in the schedule?
It's a wonderful way you just described it and introduced it, Peter, because one of the techniques of self-discipline is actually a proactive self-discipline technique. And what that is basically doing things in some sort of sense of order, being proactive, setting some sort of goal that you're actually looking for. So for me, having the night, like example, being Sunday today, it's a wonderful opportunity for everyone out here who's watching and listening to this. Tonight, try this out. What I recommend is after you're done your day's events today and you're ready to think, okay, I'm going to be preparing to go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, yes, prepare your agenda book or your phone, whatever you would like to do. If you're more of a writer, write it out. If you're a typer, type it out, but prepare what is going to happen for your day. Sundays is a day of rest, but it's also a day of reset. And if you can reset yourself on a Sunday, you can be prepared for what you have ahead in a week. So what I usually do before bed, it's like, okay, what do I have going on still that I need to actually, make sure that I'm allowed to out of my head so I can have a restful sleep. So I write out, because I always believe, being also a Montessori certified teacher, that Maria Montessori said long time ago that the power of the mind is connected to the hand. So if we write things out and not typing, literally write it out, that power of our brain wave connects to our hand, and we're releasing the energy of what our mind is actually in charge of. So when I write out, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these are the different things I need to get done, I release it, I give permission to see it, release it, and it's there. And then I no longer take it to bed with me. So I do that first. I also too prepare my warm, like my glass of water. I leave it out on my counter overnight because in the morning, I love to be able to wake up with a warm glass of water, and I put some lemon juice inside of it in order for to start the day with a detoxification. I also too write in my journal. A lot of people have ways to, maybe either type it out or write, but once again, I highly recommend buying a beautiful book. It could be a book from a dollar store, from Walmart. It could be a book from Chapters, Indigo. It doesn't really matter where, but the key is to feel the energy of that book. When you see that book in that store that you choose it at, you feel the energy that you are drawn to it, that you want to write in it. That is the key, that will be the book for you to release any negativity in order to then bring in positivity. So I always look towards my book or my journal that I have right beside my bed on my night table, and I write out to it, and I just talk about, whatever is going on in the day. Interesting enough, I have three. I have one that's a gratitude journal. I have one that is like a diary version of a journal, and the other one is a planning journal. Because I also too find that having this planning journal, I'm able to prepare what else I want to have happen, whether I want to do exercise yoga one day, when I want to do HIIT training one day, when I want to do some active isolated stretches, if I want to do some personal training one day. So I plan that out because you need to have time for a date for yourself. Life is so busy. So freaking busy. And we know that even though this is during COVID and everything has slowed down, we seem to be even busier nowadays because we're just so chaotically trying to find something to do that we no longer just sit and enjoy the silence. We no longer just sit and enjoy what we have. So this is a great opportunity to take a journal and just write it out before you go to bed. Write out whatever comes to your mind. If you start to feel that you want to write out, thank you for a great conversation I had with so-and-so, or thank you for this great webinar that we've had a chance and opportunity to meet so many beautiful people here. Thank you for this or that. If you have a chance to show gratitude before you go to bed, you're also attracting that energy for the next day. So you're also planning ahead. Being proactive is a beautiful way of self-discipline because there are days that I can tell you that no matter how tired I am, if I actually go to bed without writing in my journal or without doing some meditation before bed, I feel like I'm off. I'm actually not going to be sleeping for about a half an hour to 45 minutes because I feel like I forgot something. And it is just so ingrained in my own head that now it's like it's a form of habit. And that is one of the keys for self-discipline. Is that self-discipline is not a characteristic that we're born with. It's a learned self-improvement behavior. So we have to bring it into our lives. We have to bring it into our psyche, and we have to have repetition and practice of it. Because if we don't, it doesn't work. And that's why so many people end up saying, well, I want to eat this type of food, and I want to do this type of exercise, but I just can't do it. No, you probably can't do it because one, you already thought you can't. So you're right, you can't. Because as soon as you think you can't, it's not going to happen because you already put a block, you put a wall in front of you, and it's already harder now to actually break through it. But if you say, I'm not so sure, maybe I can write in a journal, maybe I can wake up and do some exercise, great. You already have that open space for you to try something new. You're stepping out of that comfort zone and you're like, okay, I'm going to try something with no anticipation of whether or not you're going to pass or fail. You're just trying it. Because if you have a chance of an opportunity to do something, do it. That's what life is all about, to try and experiment. So when I end up finding that journaling at night and meditation at night was working for me, then great. There's also days where I've been so busy that if I didn't, have my hour or an hour and a half of exercise, I also will do some bedtime yoga. And for some of you out there, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what exactly is that? But I do some restorative yoga in bed. Because I don't need my mat all the time. I can just lie in bed and do some of these stretches and hold the poses. And the next thing you know, I have a deeper sleep. And it's so wonderful because I found different ways. There is not one way. And I do tell this to everyone, most of my clients, as well colleagues, people like you out there, that it's so important to find what works for you. but it does take at least 7 days of trying different types of alternative and movement therapies in order to find what is right for you. You have to try some mind type of therapies, mental therapies. You've got to try some body fitness therapies, physical therapies. You've got to try some spiritual, emotional therapies in order to see what works. Because once you find something that resonates with you, it's not going to be hard to do. You're going to actually start looking forward to it. You're going to start being excited about it. And the next thing you know, it becomes part of your happy and healthy habits. And that is a step in the right direction to already start taking for self-discipline.
Very, very interesting, because you brought some subject here that I think a lot of people, they see it as negative in this word called discipline. I'm talking with a lot of people that they have this very unique concept, or I would say mass concept, about discipline equals army. Discipline equals I'm doing stuff that is gonna push me towards the, like a prison kind of thing. And can you kind of, I would say, give some light out of people about this idea of discipline, that is actually the freedom, I would say, but a lot of people, they see it opposite, as a incarcerated in a certain order, in a certain, I would say, discipline.
Control, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing though. I mean, I think as humans, and especially too, as strong individuals, when someone's telling you to do something, the first thing you want to do is react, because your ego says, wait a second, do I want that or not? And your ego stands up and tries to protect you. But the sad part is the ego doesn't always know what's right. It just knows how to protect you because it's scared of what else may be out there to hurt you and harm you. But the thing is, once you're able to find out what exactly is that your ego is preventing you from doing, and you allow yourself to say, hey, you know what, tuning into your ego to say, what is exactly this control that I don't want someone to control me? You know, and that's the thing. When somebody's telling you, you know, do this or do that, and you're like, whoa, I don't feel like doing it. Good example, this year, we're told to wear masks. There are many people that have a problem wearing masks. And, you know, regardless of going into any politics or anything like that, but when someone's telling you to do something and you don't want to do it, you're going to be fighting it. And it's your ego that stands up in order to fight. It's not you. Your subconscious mind doesn't want to do this, but it becomes into a higher degree where your ego says, no, 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 no. Unless I say it's okay, then it's going to be okay. In the meantime, it's not. So when someone's telling you, whether it's in the army or anything like that, discipline, there are very ways to look at discipline. You can look at it as being told what to do and having control over somebody else, but you can look at the self-discipline, which is where you have control over your thoughts, over your body, over your spirit, your emotions, because we cannot control anything around us, but we can control what's inside of us. And as soon as you actually are more in tune to that idea and that statement, it's so amazing where you can be able to say, you know what, I understand this, I empathize with this, but that doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't really mesh with me, but I've tried it, so thank you so very much, then that's fine. But example, like I said before, I cannot tell every single client of mine, yes, this is the way to do something and that's it. Because if I'm telling someone what to do and they're not doing it, well, then we're just fighting each other. We're just going to be banging into each other and it's not going to work. So what I usually do is recommend, here, this is what I would advise you to do. And this is what you can do based on what your viewpoints, what resonates with you, what is your thoughts, what is your concerns, what is your values. I mean, values make such a big difference. The way that we are born, and it's so very important to know this, the way that we are born in the environment that we are born within makes a big difference under the age of 6 as to who we become past the age of 6. There are only 2 sensitive periods in one person's life, 0 to 6 years of age and 12 to 18 years of age. And those 2 sensitive periods in a child's life, in a teenager's life, which we've all been there at one point or another, those are the periods where we can allow the influence of others to really impact us. And it can actually either create a new type of personality for us, it can harm us, it can hurt us, it can also empower us, it can actually also to rise us up. But we have to be able to feel what resonates with that. And the more that we have exposure to that, the better it is. I mean, this is why, when I've worked with clients before that have had some sort of trauma experience under the age of 6, and all of a sudden they are actually now, in their adulthood, and they have not let go of that childhood neglect they had to deal with. They are actually living their lives with it, carrying this extra load of negative energy on their shoulders. And no longer do they want to be told what to do or where to go, because now all of a sudden they may be trying to please someone else because that's what they were told a long time ago. A good example of this, I had before a client who was told, he came to me actually, and he wanted to lose weight. And he said to me, I'm a chef. I really want to lose weight, but I don't know how to. I just feel like every time I'm cooking, I'm also eating, but I'm also eating a lot of sweet foods. And it becomes now a form of habit. I just cannot go with one meal without having a sweet food afterwards. It could be a dessert. It could be a cake. It could be a cookie. It could be whatever. But I'm eating more than what I'm actually creating. And the sad part with this is that when I brought him into hypnosis, and I brought him back to his earliest childhood memory, we found out that he was told when he was 4 years old to sit at the table and finish his dinner, or else he would not get dessert. And he was told that repetition, day after day after day after day, that he had to stay and eat, no matter how the food was, no matter whether or not he liked the food. He had this control over him. He had this discipline that his mother would tell him, you're not leaving the table until you finish your meal, and then you're going to get your dessert as your reward. So therefore, he carried that into his adulthood. And he carried it and actually thought the only way he can feel good about himself is if he ends up eating everything off of his plate. And now it's a form of his subconscious mind that now he doesn't even think about it. He just does it, but now it's hurting him. It's actually harmed him as an adult. So in order for this amazing breakthrough to come through, is that he had to first allow himself to be open to me. So I was able to find this out, because as a certified hypnotherapist, a lot of people are very fearful of, what am I going to do? How am I going to find out their thoughts in their mind? How am I going to go this far back? And it's right, I can't. I cannot go into your own thoughts. I can't see what you want me to see if you don't allow yourself to be opened and safe with that. Because I will not push myself. I will not push my energy upon you, but I will be there as a safe person, a beautiful, safe space for you to allow yourself to be open and free, so I can then help you and guide you through whatever it is that you need to go through. And it was amazing breakthrough, because not only did he lose weight, soon right after that, once we were able to clear this childhood neglect that he had, this terrible form of discipline that was actually put upon him at that time of a young age, and change his behavior pattern and change his habits and create healthier and happier habits for him. Not only did he lose weight, but he also became so empowered and so free. He was able to fall in love with himself more. He was able to fall in love with other people. His business started to boom. He ended up opening his own restaurant instead of working for somebody else. So many things started to open up for him because of the fact he allowed himself to have this huge breakthrough. So discipline in different ways really makes a difference, but the self-discipline, as long as you bring that into your life and you find a way to resonate with you and you know it's good for you, then discipline is not a bad word after all. It's honestly something that's good, that helps us to reach a goal that we want. If we're here and we want to be here, self-discipline helps us to get there, because it clears out the negativity, it clears out the distractions, it clears out the noise that we don't need in our life, and we're able to find and focus, put laser in on what we want, and we're able to go after it no matter what anyone tells us, because we are now focused on something that what we truly want in our soul's desire.
Amazing. You brought 3 points there actually that I would like to kind of top in, but if anybody in the chat has a question, please start to put it in, because we want to make sure we have there for somebody that just starts out, how to ensure consistency in outline. So we have that question there.
Okay, is it in this group chat right here?
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of different comments in here. May I go through them as we're talking about this?
I can read it.
Okay, perfect.
So for somebody that just starts out, how to ensure consistency in our routine.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Hi there, Marilena. Hi, how are you? Yes, for someone who just starts out, to ensure consistency, the best advice I can give to you is repetition. Write that out. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Just if you remember when you were a kid and, your parents or a guardian told you how to ride a bike. Did you ride a bike the very first time you got on a bike? No. You probably fell, right? You probably had your training wheels, then you had the no training wheels, you fell. Same thing. You were learning how to skate. You were learning how to walk. Even walking, when you think about how we were when we were babies. You kept on trying to cruise first after you were able to learn that, hey, you got little legs, you can move around. And then after that, you started falling down over and over again. But the best thing that you started to do was you were persistent, you were focused. Even as a baby, you were focused on getting back up, coming back up again, even though you fell, you were persistent and focused with repetition to continue to reach that goal. We were self-disciplining ourselves when we were babies. That's how amazing this is. Because when you really think, we've always had this tool and this access to it. We just feel like we have to self-sabotage ourselves. So being consistent in a routine means repetition. Starting off one day, today, tonight, best way to do it. After this webinar, take some advice that I just shared very freely and with my warm heart to you, is to take advice and say at the end of this webinar, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whatever it is that you believe in, send it out there to the universe. Show the love and gratitude for yourself that you are here and present to be able to expose yourself to this beautiful vast of knowledge, and then see what else you want to do. Maybe do a little stretching, maybe Google for some stretches. If you're an active sportsy person, great. If you actually are someone who just loves to do active isolated stretches, or you have dance background or whatever, do some sort of form of exercise. The simplest is even putting on some music and just dancing away in your kitchen. But find a way to express yourself and let yourself be free. And if it feels good, then I highly recommend to do it again and again and again and again and again, because you cannot get enough of it. The more you repeat the behavior that you want, the more it becomes a habit. And that habit becomes a positive habit, becomes a happier habit, becomes a healthier habit for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Consistency, repetition.
Amen.
It's so true. And the thing is, it's so easy when we think about it that, we are our worst enemies. We really are, because we find so many excuses not to do things, and we know better. We're all very smart, amazing, beautiful people, but we find ways to block our happiness. We find ways to be miserable because what's that?
Self-sabotage.
Right? It's true. We always find ways to sabotage our happiness. And the worst part is why? Nobody's telling us to not be happy. I mean, even during a COVID year, and this is what the trickiest part has been. I've lost clients before when the pandemic had just first hit us, and obviously here in Canada in March, I had started clients have saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to do my sessions now. I'm going to be at home with my kids. I can't handle this. The first thing I actually said to them is, why? Isn't your happiness important? And they said, well, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to do this though. I need to take care of my kids, I need to take care of my husband, I need to take care of the pets. I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you going to do this if you don't have the best of you? Because if you're drained out and you're feeding that drained out energy to everybody else within your home, you are not at your best, and your family is going to fall apart. And I would be very blunt and open to it, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want you to know that I'm your mirror. I'm going to tell you the way it is. If I see that you're trying to sabotage yourself, I'm going to speak out and say, hey, babe, no. The answer is no, don't do that. Or I say, hey, good looking, you deserve better than that. I'm going to tell you how it is, because you deserve the very best. Don't settle for the less, deserve the best.
That's the way to do it. That's the way
It's true. It's so true.
Oh, there's a lot of people that, like a little bit, if it's getting harder, they kind of give up on it, and they give up. Is that idea we know with I always like that example with the falling aeroplane. Who are you gonna put first the mask? Are you gonna put on the kid or on you? Well,
And you know what, Peter? That's funny you mentioned that, because honestly, before I had a child, I honestly thought, oh God, that's terrible. Why would some parent put the mask on themselves before their kid? And then I was the person who was thinking, oh, that's not right. They should definitely put it on the kid, let the kid survive. And then when I became a mother, I'm like, wait a second. If my son survives without me, he can't support himself. He needs me. And then raising my child without a father figure around, it became more apparent to me that I had to be the best mom and best dad to my son, because if I was not going to be at my best, he will not get that energy. And you know what? I've sacrificed so much in my life. I sacrificed so much of my personal and professional goals so I can give to him. But I looked at the outlook. I looked at the focus, the goals that I had in the future. And I said, as long as he has a strong foundation, he will be able to persevere through any type of negativity if he knows that he's on a good, solid ground. And you know what? He's an A+ scholar. He's in an AP high school. He's won tons of awards. He's a valedictorian. He just now recently, even through COVID, he actually became part of the honor roll. He's, part of productions, part of his drama class. He's the MC and also the Grinch for the Christmas play happening this year. Like, it's amazing to see once you take care of your child, it's because you're taking care of you. If you're taking care of yourself and you're giving the best of you to your child will excel. Your child will persevere. Your child would say they love themselves. And my son, he's so proud. He'll look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm good looking today. I feel good about myself. And he loves himself, and not a conceited way whatsoever. It's a way that he can bring it into his psyche, that he knows he feels good about himself, and he shares that energy with other people, and he raises, especially as a teenager, which is really hard to do. All of us adults, we know we have bad days. We deal with so much other stuff in our world that becomes overwhelming. And it's important that we stand back and say, you know what, wait a second. I'm not having a good day right now. I'm not in a good mood. I need a timeout. And you know what? That's okay. Because when we were kids, we had timeouts, didn't we? Right? And did the timeouts hurt us? No, they gave us a chance to stand back and reflect what the heck is going on and what do we need to change. So as an adult, take that timeout. If you're not having a good day, you're not having a good moment, stand back, sit, pull over if you're in a car and you're having a big bad traffic jam and everything else, pull over and just do some deep breathing. And I always recommend 10 deep breaths, because after 3 deep breaths, it's good to refocus a little bit, but 10 deep breaths, whatever negative emotion you have, you will definitely not have it after 10 deep breaths. Because that negativity has to leave your body. It has to leave your mind, your soul, and you have to give permission to release it out of you. And it always, always works.
I think it's going to go very well also if you're going to have a pissed off customer that's going to call you. Before you can answer, take the 10 deep breath and you're going to
yes. Do it. I tell it to everybody though, please, like if you see things that are not happening, even somebody you're talking to on the phone and you can hear them being, oh my gosh, one of the good calls is I had a client that said to me before that they had to deal with like a phone provider. And some of the people who work in those type of companies, maybe not, they don't like their job. And if they don't like their job, they're going to go to work, they're going to be on the phone, they're going to be nasty, and they're going to be talking to people. That energy will be passed through the phone. And the next thing you know, the person on the other line is talking badly, then you're talking, then you're fighting with a total stranger, then you're in a bad mood, then turn around and you start yelling everything else. Why? Just, tell the person on the phone, you know what, thank you so very much, but this is not a good call for me right now. I'm going to just leave for a moment and, I'll call back another time, and literally get off the phone and do your 10 deep breaths. Because if you don't, you will have that negativity in you, and I swear it will just get worse and you'll just start spiraling around. And I've had to do that a lot of times though, because I know there's only a certain number of patient moments I can get that if I start to feel something going on, that I feel off balance, because of course I'm also a highly sensitive empath, so I usually do feel a lot of people's energies, and if I'm not grounded, then I will have to say, wait a second, I need to take a time out and collect myself, reground myself, and then I can get back to this conversation. I will do that because I know now what is going to allow me to persevere further or what's going to actually harm me, and it's also going to harm the person I'm speaking to.
That's a very good advice. Especially
Thank you.
because there are a lot of people here that are entrepreneurs and they do cold calls. I think that's going
Yes,
to, help everybody on that part. We have another question from Michelangelo. Michelangelo, would you like to say it out aloud, the question?
Absolutely, no problem. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to give this question. So I'm a 21-year-old college student. I have 2 semesters left. I thought I had one, but I redid the math. I was like, oh, it's okay. Moving forward. Forward is the only way to go, by the way.
that's right.
Um, but anywho, my question was, do you still recommend getting 8 hours of sleep, or what type of routine do you recommend to create some sort of stability? I always try to have a routine. I always, listen to something motivational when I first wake up. But just wanted to get your take on that.
Well, good question. First, nice to see you, Michelangelo. Thank you. And you know what? Kudos to you, because right now, being in college during COVID, I know it must be very challenging for you. So I just want to say to you, you're doing a great job in whatever difficulties that may be happening to you through college. You know what? Take a deep breath always and say you're doing the best that you can, because I believe that you truly are. Getting 8 hours of sleep, if that is something that you normally are used to prior to college, great. But now through college, through this whole year, do you find that 6 hours are good for you, 7 hours, eight? What do you prefer? What do you see so far that when you've been trying? Because before I ask you how consistent you are, what have you been trying and what have you seen has been a positive effect for you or a negative?
Well, for example, just today I did 8 hours. I felt a lot more rested. All throughout high school, I used to do like 6 5 hours just to get through my honors classes. Good for me. I graduated top 10% of my class, but I
Good.
know, right? I know. A lot of people don't know that about me. But anywho,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I should do more of that probably.
Well, you know what? Before you think about how you were in the past, remember, as we change, we grow, and you can only
That's true.
transform if you change. So there are some things that may work in the past that you can actually keep today in the present life and that you can still continue on in the future. However, if there's something in the past that no longer serves you today in the present, then I do not recommend to bring it back into your present life in order to bring it into your future. So the question I have for you though, Michelangelo, is you had your 8 hours of sleep and you felt well rested. What happens to you now when you have those 6 hours of sleep that you used to have a long time ago, but now that you have it, being a college student, how do you feel when you have 6 hours of sleep?
Well, it feels a lot more draining because I also like kind of work 30 plus hours also for the last year. So I pulled it off. Kept my scholarships. The university president still believes in me too, so can't complain. I gotta make them proud. I gotta make a lot of people proud.
What about
So
you though? Mike, are
me
you
too.
making yourself
Me proud too. Absolutely,
proud?
absolutely.
Good, because that's the most important though. As long as you make yourself proud, everybody else will become proud of you, but it has to start with you first though. So if
That's
you
true.
tried the 6 hours and you found that you actually were good, that you feel that kind of energy going on, but you've tried the 8 and you feel even more rested, then for you, what I would recommend is to see on your day schedule, look at your 7 days. Out of your 7 days, look at what your schedule is like. Where does your work fit into it? Where does your school fit into it? How many hours are you doing towards school or towards your work? And then see when you start your day and when you end your day, what hours do you have? Because you have to look up how many hours are happening per day that you're awake. And then you can actually calculate what's the best hours of sleep for you. Because during COVID, especially too, there are certain things that are happening back and forth that everybody's schedule is not the way it used to be. And I'm not just saying though, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. Every single day, our lives are changing so fast right now during COVID. So for you, if you found that that 8 hour day worked, was it on a weekend? Was it during the week? What was it?
It was actually yesterday, but
There you go.
there you go.
And then during the week, did
Right.
you find that you haven't tried being able to have an 8 hour sleep though?
No, no, no.
Exactly. So what I would
Right.
recommend for you is to keep that 6 hours because it works for you during the week. But then allow yourself to catch up on that lost sleep if you need it, or just allow yourself to be pampered and take that extra 2 hours on a weekend and just say, you know what, I don't have to be in work in the morning, or I don't have something to do in the morning. take that extra time and sleep, relax yourself, because you're your own boss. You are
Yeah.
in control of yourself, right?
Right.
Right?
100% self-employed, so I can do whatever hours, but I always try to make my money in certain markets at certain times and
Exactly.
immerse myself in front of certain people. So
Exactly. And you know what? And you're the best people person if you first take care of yourself. So allowing yourself to know what your schedule is like, you can then see what's going to work for you. Because 6 hours so far has worked if you're finding it, you're able to still be in the honors, be able to still have everything going on in college and doing and still reaching your goals, you're still able to do that. But then having that 8 hours once a while, highly recommend it on the weekends. If your weekend schedule is a lot less, do it. I do it. I mean, I could have my 8 hours on a weekend. If I have 7 hours during the week or a 6 hour one day, I definitely make sure I get my 8 or even 9 hours of sleep if I need to, because I know I am functioning properly if I get the hours of sleep that I need. But that's why I look at my schedule, because my schedule will change. And just like yours, once you start getting to that pattern and you start becoming consistent and repetitive what that pattern is, your body will know, hey, it's a Friday night. Sure, you'll stay up later, you'll go to bed later instead of during the week where you'll go to bed earlier, right? And then you'll know to be able to sleep in on the weekend compared to during the week where your just body is now tuned in to wake up earlier. So whatever is best for you, Michelangelo, you're on the best track then.
I appreciate it, absolutely. Bring
Oh,
awesome value to the group.
of course. Thank you so much, Michelangelo.
Thank you. And I'm gonna continue only with one more question, and after this, I want you to tell us, where people can find you. But before that question, I just want to kind of finish the wrapping of this idea that we had before of how to maximize the discipline, to get to the point of actually changing your habits, the bad habits, good habits, and getting on the point of being productive by focusing on that self-discipline and how to gain that one, a little bit more, I would say one more notch than repetition, but to be more clear about what has to be done for a person that wants to get from the chaotic life to a point that is going to be extremely focused on results and get the discipline to that, I would say, perfection.
So basically reaching the goal, right? What it takes for someone to reach their goal. The
Well, with
self-discipline.
the goal, and also in the same time to get yourself on being aware about the fact that you have to be focusing on getting the results, whatever it is a goal, or even like you mentioned earlier, somebody eating too much cake,
Yeah.
That's also a thing about self-discipline to know, hey, I cannot eat more. I should go to bed earlier. I should make sure I'm going to write my plans. I should make sure that I'm going to
Yeah.
be in gratitude. And how to get to that, I would say, stage of being conscious
Well,
with results.
and the key for this is again, I'm going to repeat it because this is actually a focus of it. Having self-discipline in one person's life means that you have self-control as well. So you might have to say no to something, whether it's actually no to an invitation or no to a piece of cake or no to watching a late night movie or doing binge watching, right? TV is one of our worst enemies. And during COVID this year, TV has been so accessible and being online has been so accessible that people actually often forget what to do except sitting on a chair in front of a TV or a computer screen or a laptop, and they're constantly online, allowing their minds to be totally active all the time. Guess what? Your mind needs a break. Your mind needs a break away from the screens, from actually all that noise that you constantly have, that extra rays of the light from visually that you're going to see. You need to be away from it. So what I recommend is if you have a goal, if you want to lose weight, and again, these are goals that are not going to start right now in 2020 in December, right before the holiday season. These are goals that we are just around the corner. We are planning for 2021, friends. This means this is the best month ever to sit down with that great journal book that you're going to go purchase on Monday now, everybody. You're going to go to the store, you're going to find what book is going to resonate to you when you look at it, and you're going to bring that book out and you're going to say, you know what, today is my day that I'm going to write out what I want to see for myself. And I would break it into 7 areas. what you want for your mind. What do you want to bring into your mind? Do you want positive thoughts? Do you want affirmations? Do you want mantras? Do you want to be able to tell yourself every day, I am doing the best that I can every single day with what I have? Do you want to tell yourself, I am a thankful human being? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whatever it is you want to bring in, mind, consider your mind goals. It's very, very important. It is so important to actually think of what your body needs. Do you want to bring in fitness? Do you exercise? Do you do stretches? If not, how do you improve yourself? Where can you start? You are going to just join on for the first online class for a yoga and advanced class? No, of course not. You're going to take the baby steps, because the baby steps is what's going to help you to reach the main goal. If your main goal is to be an advanced yogi, then great. I'm not going to say no to it, but you can't start up there. You have to start here. You have to start at the bottom and make your way up, step by step by step. So plan it out. Self-discipline is a form of planning. Be proactive with your self-discipline, not reactive. You know, reactive means you're controlling your behavior, and that's great as a self-discipline technique. But when you're trying to plan something for your future, you need to literally be proactive. Break out your goals. Place them in categories. Break them out. Nothing is unlimited. Remember, you are possible. Nothing is impossible. So make sure you write it out step by step what you want to do. I love December, not for the holidays only. I really, truly love December because for me, knowing that the new year's around the corner, there's so much excitement. And you'll start seeing too, if you start following me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you'll see starting Monday, tomorrow, you'll start seeing my different posts. And I always have 12 days before Christmas where I have a special thing going on where it allows you to have that mindset, to get excited for the holidays, even if it's not to do with a religious aspect at all. It's to be able to be excited like a child. Connect with that inner child, because when we were children, we were excited for everything. And now as adults, we're like, oh God, here we go again, another day, another, loss, whatever. No, be excited. We are living in this beautiful world, beautiful planet. Yes, we have COVID. Yes, we have so many different other negative things happening, but we don't have to be negative. We have a beautiful life ahead of us. We have a brand new year ahead of us, and we are smarter, wiser, happier, and healthier if we want to be. So by planning something that you want, if you want to fit into that size 6 dress, great, put it out and write it out. That's your goal for the new year. If you want to travel again, do it, write it out, because guess what? You will be able to travel. We don't know when, but if that is your goal, put it out. One of the things you're going to see too, and I do this actually in January, so stay tuned for this, is I definitely have a vision board party, but this year I'll be doing it online. A vision board is powerful, and it helps you with that self-discipline as well, because you are able to visually see what you want in your life. And you're able to say, if I want to be a healthier person, if I want to exercise every day, then how am I going to get there? I need to be self-disciplined. I need to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning if that's what's going to take. Or I need to make sure I'm doing an afternoon lunchtime routine where I'm going to put in my half an hour work break of my lunch. I'm going to do 15 minutes workout. There are so many ways we can bring in our goals into our daily life, but we have to be, consistent with it. We have to be repetitive of it, and we have to be excited about it. Because if you're not excited, it feels like a torture. And why would you want to be doing something that's not going to be good for you? Be excited for what you want to bring into your life, and be excited like a child, opening a Christmas present idea. You don't know what's going to be ahead, except in this case, you're doing your own shopping. So you know what's ahead. You know if that Christmas present for you, it's going to be, a trip away somewhere, or, having a physique that you're going to be really happy about because you're going to be muscular or whatever else it is you want, or having this great job or career that you've been studying for, and then you're going to reach for it and making lots of money. I mean, even this year with abundance in financial, low income, for example, financial sacrifices that people have been having to endure, next year is another year. There are so many different ways that we can say to ourselves, there is abundance available. There is possibilities. There are prosperities everywhere around us. Our life is full of excitement and adventure. So why should we just be stale and bored of it? Find things that are going to excite you and write it out, because the more you get passionate and what you want, the more you will be finding it easier to be disciplined about it, because you have something to look forward to that you, only you, have control over.
100% here, 100%, 100, a million.
Yay.
It's all about, your perception of how you want to see yourself in the future, because at the end of the day, you're in control over your own life. You're the master of your life.
You are truly the master, and your thoughts create your destiny. And one of the things is that whatever you resist will persist in your life. So if you resist, if you say, oh, I want to lose weight, but I'm going to have this extra cake, or I'm going to have this extra, bag of chips or anything else. Okay, great. You're doing that. But as long as you understand, is that going to help you reach your goal? And if you can say to yourself, no, but no. You said no. So just stop it there. If that is what the problem is, then let's take a step back. Find out how you can help. If you can't do it yourself, it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. The greatest power that each of us have is to actually seek someone else's advice for help. And if you reach out for someone, and somebody who is there, who is a supportive, loving, caring person who's been through something that they can empathize with you, then that's the person that can definitely help you. Because I would never recommend anybody that I know to go after someone because, oh, wow, this guru is really great and I'm going to go spend money on this person and they're going to help me. Do you resonate with them? Do you feel that they've been through something that you're going through? Because if the answer is no, then don't do it. Because I always say to people, I know how it feels to be poor. I know how it feels to be abused. I know how it feels to have nothing at certain times in my life. I know how it feels to be suicidal, to have depression, to have post-traumatic stress. I know how it feels. I know what grief and loss have done to my life. I know this. But do I sit in this victim mentality and go over and over again, oh, my life sucks all the time? No. Because I've learned to survive through it. I've learned to persevere through it. And I've done it because I'm disciplining myself every day. I constantly tell myself there's a reason why I wake up. There's a reason for me to do something, because I have something to look forward to. And the more that I'm persistent in what my goals are, even through a year of COVID pandemic, I know that next year I'm going to be even more super successful than I am this year. And this year's been rough. I've had a lot of losses. I've had to endure a lot of grief and bereavement. I've lost 10 people during COVID this year, and, as friends and family. And I've, lost parts of my business. I've had to pick up another part of my business. It's been up and down. But you know what? I've cried. I've let it out. I wiped the tears. I'm like, oh, I smashed some things against the wall. I'm like, let this energy out, because I don't want it to sit and store within me. Because if it does, it's going to grow. And if it grows and grows and grows, I will not be my authentic, beautiful, happy self. And that's not the kind of life I want to live. So my advice to all of you out there, this is a tough year. Be gentle to yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for whatever you did not reach that you wanted to in 2020. Forgive yourself, because there's things that were beyond your control that you could not foreseen, or you could not have controlled whatsoever. However, start planning for your beginning. This may be the end of 2020, but it's the beginning, because when one door shuts, another one opens up. And I tell you, friends, the door is opening and it's going to be wide, because when we've had a year like this that's been quiet and it's given time for us to kind of go within, look at it as a blessing, because there's been things in your life, I'm sure, that you didn't want to let go of. And this year you had to, whether it was a career or a job, whether it was actually people in your life, family, friends, people that you thought you were so close to. And guess what? They really weren't as close as you thought they were, because where are they now? They're not there helping you out through the times of need. Guess what? It's time to wipe them away, to say, thank you for being in my life, but you're not needed anymore. Bye. And then start bringing space for people that you resonate with, people that are like-minded, people that are going to be beautifully supportive of you and your goals and your visions. surround yourself, places like this with Growth Mastermind Group, where you can resonate yourself with other people that understand how powerful your mind is and how you can empower other people by sharing what your visions are and having a beautiful, safe environment where you can say, yeah, you go, girl, you got this, you know, and just keep on rising up. This is the beginning, friends, not the end. So look forward to it. Start planning.
I love that energy. I love it. Like I told you earlier, you know, great energy. We like it.
Thank you.
We need more of you, you know. So
Well, it's contagious, so now you all have it. So,
yeah,
and this is a good thing to be contagious about. It's not COVID, it's a happy energy.
we should spread this virus of positive energy around this, so it's gonna be more contagious and it's gonna overwhelm the other virus.
You know what? Let's do that, Peter. Let's have a new hashtag, spread positivity, not COVID. Okay? There you go. You heard it here first, everybody.
On my list. On my list. That's it, you know, I put it here.
Yeah, spread positivity, not COVID.
We have to spread, you know, that positivity is like you said, contagious, and not only that one, but you know, we have to share that the fact that, you know, like you said, we have to brush it out and continues growing, and no matter what, it's gonna be preserving our lives, not to focus on the past, focus on the future. That's the
Exactly.
only thing we can change.
And that's the thing, though, you know what? Be forgiving. I mean, that's one of the key things is that this year, you know, a lot of us fell off our own tracks. You know, a lot of us fell off of what we wanted to have happen. I did too. I'm sure Peter did too. Everybody has. But guess what? It's a learning experience. Every lesson that we have learned is something that is valuable in our lives. You know, you always have more rejections in your life, but you can take those rejections and you can actually learn from it and be empowered by it, because now you know what you don't want. You know now this year of things that you now have either let go of because you had to or that you wanted to. And now you have space. So what are you going to fill it up with? You know, one of the things that has happened this year is that a lot of people have actually had more addictions than ever before. And I'm not surprised. The sad part is it's sad to think that the government is not using their money in places such as this, where positivity is very important, where people need to have a better mindset, where the money should be spent on empowering people's minds, because that will help them to gain their happiness, their healthiness back again. Because if you just say feed drugs, feed alcohol, keep the liquor stores open, keep the, you know, grocery stores in the states open, and have all the alcohol being, you know, there available for everybody, what do you think is going to happen? Being safe with a bottle of booze, yeah, of course. If you're in your home, of course you're going to just drink away. But is that really going to help you reach the goal? If you want to graduate, though, from university, or example, get that career that you're going to be sitting in that glass building in the high office up above? No, it's not. It's going to sabotage you. And if it sabotages you, you will not reach your goal. Don't you deserve happiness? Everybody does. So stop hurting yourself. There's enough hurt in this world that's happening. And all I do is continue to pray, to send out positive vibes for people out there. I do some distance Reiki and send out energy to say, please help these people here. Please help people here. And I'm always sending out positive vibes because I can't help every single person the way I would want to. But at least if I'm spreading that vibe inside of me, and every single person I see with my mask on, my eyes will speak of positivity. And it's amazing because, you know, even nowadays with our masks, people have lost that human connection. They've lost that facial expressions that we used to have before. And now it's more important than ever is to make your eyes your voice. So when you're speaking to somebody, smile, and even though they can't see your smile below, let your eyes sparkle. Send out positive vibes. You know, compliment somebody you don't even know. Say hi to a stranger. You know, be positive, because even though we have to be physically distant, you do not have to be socially distant. So spread that love, spread that positivity. And you know what? You'd be surprised how many people that will be so happy that you were just happened to be there. I mean, I see it every day. I have no problems and I'm not saying I'm perfect whatsoever. I'm totally not. But I have no problems going to a gas station or going to my son's school to drop him off, or going to work or anything like that, where I'm just with my mask on and just like looking and talking. And I've had people say, God, your eyes are so nice. I'm like, oh, you mean like the color of my eyes? And they're like, no, you just have this really, really warmth to it. And I'm like, because I don't want to give you anything negative. I want to just send you happiness. I want to send you healthiness. I want to give you prosperity and love and abundance because you deserve it. And I've had people cry because they said, no one said that to me this year. And we need to be vocal. We need to tell people, total strangers, whether you're online on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, just say something positive. If you feel it, spread it. Positivity is contagious. Let's make that as the new motion for 2021. But let's start it now. Start now during the holidays where everybody has to be locked in their own little social bubbles. Spread it. I actually challenge everybody now. Starting tomorrow, I challenge everyone to do one post a day where you can do some sort of positive vibes. You can share it. Whether you say something like, hi, I just want to tell everybody, have a great day, or hey, I love you. And I know you're a stranger, but I just want to send love out there. Don't excuse yourself for why you want to be happy and healthy. Just be positive and enjoy it, because I guarantee you that energy will come right back to you, baby. And it's going to just rise you up even further, and you're going to feel it. You're going to spread it, and you're going to end up being more positive for what you want in your own life. And that self-discipline, that's a great way to create a new self-discipline of positivity, which is a great way to even bring that first as a test to your life. 28 days, you do it, I guarantee you'll never have a worry after that, because you can see I've done it and it works. And I know this is not impossible for any of you out there. We all can do it. I'm not different from any of you. The only difference is that I do this on a repetitive way and I'm consistent with it. That's the only difference.
I'm telling you, we can be all night here talking about the subject. So, but we're gonna have on the 27th of December, we're gonna try to do like a New Year's resolution a day. So we're gonna have on the last Sunday of this year. So you're more than welcome to be part of it, because we want to spread your energy and your positivity.
Thank you.
So in that way we can have like a second part of this. So we're gonna
Love it.
We're gonna start the new year with a lot of energy and a lot of positive thoughts. And not only that one, there's a lot of of coaches inside of our group that they're like from Go Ahead Challenge, from other way of that we social media that we connect with. But I think our duty as entrepreneurs, it is to let other people know that they cannot I would say get stuck in their enclosed minds and watch TV and get absorb negativity and spread it out.
Yes, that's the key here though. This year, instead of actually, sharing your political views or sharing any type of animosity or negativity, on online virtually, stop it. That's what I recommend, to stop that if that's what you are doing. And if you see people doing it, you know what? Take yourself away from it. Take yourself away from those places where you see it. I've had to shut down a lot of my social media for certain times where I've just said, you know what, that's enough. I've had to delete people who I thought were friends or colleagues because it was just too much. And I don't wish for that to be in my environment. I don't wish for that to be part of who I am. And the more you bring in the positivity, the more you share it, the more you attract it, the more that it gets spread, the better it is. I mean, look, this is how we are here. I think that's how you and I, Peter, we met. We met through something that was positive. And look at this. This is a beautiful relationship that started now. And all these wonderful people that are here, part of the Growth Mastermind group, plus all the ones I've also written. It's just a beautiful way to start a new collaboration, which is where we're all sharing something about ourselves, though. And, in a physically distant world right now, it's great to be socially connected. That's the only way I can say it, though. It's so important to be connected in certain ways, as long as you are having the great positive vibes to be spread. Yes, we all go through sadness, depression, loneliness, boredom, but it's important to deal with it, to go through it, to be acknowledged, of course. Forgive yourself if that's something that you're on a repetitive pattern, but then say to yourself, what is it I really want? Do I want to be bored? No. Do I want to be lonely? No. So how do I fix it? Find ways, reach out, and one of the offers is reach out to me. I'm here. You know, you can find me on Instagram. You know, Nikki-Monique Kurnath is 3 names put together. You can find me on my Facebook page. You know, Nikki-Monique Wellness N with the letter N Fitness Biz, which I'm changing the name. You guys will all know this now. I'm changing the name to Be Empowered by Nikki-Monique, because I'm all about empowering people's lives, because I know how important being empowered is for myself, and I want to spread that, especially for 2021. You know, I'm on LinkedIn, Nikki-Monique and Monique Kurnath, both my names. So look for it, you know, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Send me an email, nikkimoniquefitness@yahoo.com, and put in the subject line, self-discipline. You know, send me a message and say self-discipline, and I'll know who you are, that you're from this amazing group with Peter Claudieu, and I'll know that I've met you through here, this beautiful outlet. So don't be shy, come by, say hi, and you know what, let's stay connected.
So 100%, and I saw that you're also part of the Facebook group. So if you want to reach her, you can reach her inside our Facebook group.
Yes.
Join. So that's the easiest way to reach out to her. And in case you cannot take the notes so fast.
Well, definitely. Well, I think there's a way though. Actually, I'll put in the chat though too. People want to take a picture of it. But then, yeah, definitely make sure there's ways to get in touch with me, because I really don't want people to be shy about anything anymore. Because this year, there's one thing we can actually do is to be connected, and it's so very important to stay connected, because if you don't, you know, loneliness is very sad. You know, boredom. There's a lot of suicide this year. The percentages, I won't even get into how bad it is, because I talked to another colleague a couple of days ago, but suicide is happening a lot more than you're aware of, a lot more than it's being publicized. And I've lost this year as well 2 people to suicide. So I do know how it feels. And I wish to God that those people reached out to me, because I was there, I was available. I reached out to them, but it was, you know, a while ago. They just didn't want to talk. And the sad part is when you feel to that space where you don't want to communicate anymore, then this is what I recommend. Stop, reach out, do something for yourself, take some deep breaths, sit, meditate, pray, whatever it is. But there's a higher power that you can talk and communicate to and say, please help me. Please help me through this darkness. Help me find the light. Because I promise you, there is light here. There really, truly is. And I know, because many years ago, I felt suicidal, and it would last for 30 days. I thought, I'm going to kill myself today. I'm going to kill myself today. I'm going to kill myself. And I realized I couldn't, because there was still something I needed to do. And instead, I made that 360, and I'm constantly using those times of the, you know, the low points in my life, the times of my darkness. I'm using that now to help inspire the light, because it is so very important to go through whatever we've gone through, acknowledge it, be aware of it, but don't stay in it. Rise up from it. Be that phoenix. Bring out your wings. Get ready to fly again, because this is a new beginning for all of us. So don't despair. Have air around. Believe in yourself. You can do it, because I believe in you. I love you, and I know you can do it.
Thank you very much. Great words. Great, I already feel like, like the phoenix is rising up, no matter where it is. We have here some flames, so we're good on that. But the best part of it is, I think it was an amazing session. And, knowing because for me, I have a lot of arguments with people that everybody says the most important part, it is the mind. The most important is I would say the most important is self-discipline, because without self-discipline, you cannot have good habits, you cannot have mind, you cannot have time, you cannot have nothing. And I think that's the most important subject for everybody to understand. Self-discipline is the key for anything we plan in our life, anything we want to do, either it's business, personal life, or either helping others, like sharing some positive thoughts. Get discipline on that. Everybody has their dark side in lives, and I had mine, and I came with this idea of putting a rubber band, and every time I had a bad thought, I pinch myself. And believe me, those rubber bands are magic. when you have some pain in that, this area, oh my gosh, all those dirty thoughts or negative thoughts, they were gone. The only thing I had in my mind, ouch, and that was all. And that's a, like a, I would say, more physical way of removing those thoughts. If it doesn't help you, like with meditation, just
Yeah.
put a rubber band.
And Peter, if I may interrupt though, those moments of pain that you experienced, moments of pain helped you to change, didn't they?
Yeah, because I didn't want it anymore. So I was honest with myself. So I say, like, if I have a negative thought, I'm gonna pinch it.
Yeah.
And believe me, I was like, no, no negative. I cannot. I don't want it anymore. It's enough. It's enough for today. I'm okay.
And
Next.
that's the thing though, the more that we actually experience pain, the more that we experience these type of negative emotions, the more we learn what we don't want anymore. We learn how to let go of those negative feelings, and we say, that's it. And we face the fear, because fear is what keeps us repetitive of the negative emotions. But once we face that, and I always love this saying though, you can't have change without challenge. So the
No.
more that we experience challenges in our life, the more we can create positive changes in our life. So as long as we remember that, every challenge we face, look at it with a light at the end of that tunnel, because at the end of that challenge, there'll be a change. And it's going to be a positive one if you want it to be, or it will be a negative one. But you're the master of your own mind. You're the master of your decisions. So it's up to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate for you coming here, and I appreciate for everybody that stays. We stay half an hour over our regular time, but I think everybody stay here until now because they found value, and that was the purpose of this call, to give value, and we always try to share value with everybody in the group. We have, like I said, every Sunday night we have our calls. We're trying to bring everybody from outside, from inside of the group, success story, inspiration, and anything that makes people to be like, yeah, I can do that, because at the end of the day, we cannot go be alone in this thing.
No.
We need a community, we need people around us, and we need to see that whatever we are going through, we're not the only one that goes through. And by being surrounded by like-minded people, we can go easier, and we can help each other. At the end of the day, it's better to ask for help than going that solitude mindset, because no empire was built by one single person.
No, we're humans. We're not meant to stay alone. So
Nope.
it's important that, it's good to have solitude moments. It's good to have quiet moments in our lives, but we're social creatures. We're meant to actually socialize. So
Yes.
find ways to socialize. We can't do it physically, but find ways mentally and emotionally to stay connected, and spiritually too.
I mean, again, that's the way. That's the best way. With this being said, thank you very much one more time, Monique. Thank you very much, everyone that have been on this call. I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna share some love forward, and
Yes.
we're gonna edit this call. We're gonna make sure we're gonna have everything ready. And once it's ready, I'm gonna send it over the social media. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna let you know. And we're gonna keep in touch, for the 27th. That we're trying to promote it a little bit more. We didn't promote this one. I thought we just let everybody know in the group, but we're gonna definitely promote it forward, and make sure that 2021 is gonna be a great year for everybody, because that's why
Definitely. Well, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who attended tonight's amazing webinar. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you everyone for some of the chats, comments I've seen. Thank you, Michelangelo, as well as any other person that has also too reached out different ways. Thank you so very much. And most importantly, thank you, Peter Claudieu, for inviting me to be part of this great opportunity and be part of Growth Mastermind Group. Thank you. I send you lots of love, light, and laughter, everyone, in prosperity, and of course, good health too. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.